She thought she had me right where she wanted. Cornered in the living room of my grandmother's old Victorian house in Denver, her manicured nails tapping on a stack of legal papers like a predator toying with its prey. "Emily." "Sweetheart," Sophia purred, her voice dripping with that fake sympathy she'd perfected over years of family gatherings. "It's time to face reality. You either cough up $50,000 in back rent or pack your bags and get out in 30 days. At 34. I'd already clawed my way through a messy divorce that left me with nothing but my freelance graphic design gigs and this house, the one place that still whispered memories of safety amid the chaos. But Sophia, my cousin, 3 years my senior, had always seen me as the weak link, the one who didn't fight back hard enough. She'd married into money, divorced even better, and now ran a flashy interior design firm that she flaunted like a trophy. Growing up, she treated me like an afterthought, rolling her eyes at my art projects while she chased accolades. When Grandma Eleanor willed me this house 2 years ago, Sophia's resentment boiled over because Grandma had seen her true colors, the skipped visits, the condescending sighs, the push to sell off family heirlooms when Grandma's health faded. I'd been the one brewing tea in that sun-faded kitchen, sketching designs on the back porch while listening to her tales of Denver's boomtown days. This wasn't just bricks and mortar, it was where I'd hidden from the world after my ex walked out, where Grandma had squeezed my hand and said, "Strength isn't loud, Emily. It's the quiet storm that levels everything." But there Sophia stood, in her tailored blazer on a lazy Saturday morning, shoving documents at me. "I've acquired Uncle Harold's stake," she announced, her eyes gleaming with triumph. Uncle Harold, our dad's reclusive brother who'd fled to Arizona decades ago, supposedly had a claim from helping with the down payment back in '85. She'd bought it off him, turning herself into a co-owner overnight. The papers looked legit deeds, transfers, all stamped and signed. My stomach knotted as I read the demand, $50,000 or eviction. It was highway robbery, and she knew I couldn't swing it on my irregular income from logo designs and website mocks. This wasn't about fairness, it was payback for being Grandma's favorite, for not being the success story she was. "This is blackmail," I whispered, my voice barely holding. "No, it's smart business," she shot back, crossing her arms. "You've been freeloading on my half of the value. Time to pay up or step aside." She leaned in, her perfume cloying like overripe fruit. "We both know you're not cut out for the big leagues. Maybe a tiny apartment in the suburbs is more your speed." As she sauntered out, leaving the folder like a grenade, the walls seemed to press in. Every creak of the floorboards echoed Grandma's laughter. The faded floral wallpaper held ghosts of holidays past. But beneath the panic, a spark ignited, the same one that had flickered when my ex called me unambitious during our split, or when clients undercut my rates. Grandma used to say I was too kind-hearted for this cutthroat world, but she'd add, with a wink, "Kindness can be a weapon if you wield it right." I grabbed my phone. Not for a lawyer I couldn't afford, but for my old college buddy in the county clerk's office. If Sophia wanted a property war, I'd map the battlefield first. The next day, Sophia showed up unannounced, flanked by her boyfriend Marcus, a slick finance guy who always looked bored, and her assistant Lena, phone in hand like a weapon. They barged onto the porch like they owned it already. "Decision time, Emily," Sophia demanded, waving a fresh eviction notice. "I've got the lawyers on this. Harold's claim dates back to '85. He fronted cash for Grandpa. And now it's mine. The document from some downtown firm, Baxter and Klein," screamed legitimacy, dense with legalese that made my head spin. $50,000, she repeated, savoring the number. "Generous. Really? considering what this place could rent for. I stood there in my robe. Coffee gone cold. As Lena filmed the delivery for the record. Marcus shifted awkwardly, muttering, "Soft. Maybe tone it down." But she ignored him, her voice rising to draw nosy glances from old Mr. Wilkins next door. "This is squatters' rights ending. Emily. Grandma left you her share. But with Harold's cut, it's 60 to 40 at best. Pay or I'll force a sale." Lena chimed in. "Market's booming, could fetch 900K easy. You'd walk away with enough for a condo." It was scripted. Rehearsed cruelty. Why now? After 2 years? Sophia's face flickered, something desperate. Quickly masked. "Harold reached out recently. Settling old affairs. I saw the opportunity." Opportunity. The word tasted like ash. She eyed the porch swing Grandpa built. "The herb garden Grandma and I planted. Once you're out." "I'm gutting it, modern vibes. Open floor plan. Ditch the outdated charm." My blood boiled as they documented damages that weren't there. But I bit my tongue. This was betrayal layered on old wounds. Flashbacks hit at 25. Fresh from design school. I'd prepped for a big agency interview, sharing my portfolio ideas with Sophia over sisterly wine. Next day, she showed up for the same slot. Her pitch echoing mine but slicker. She got the gig. I later heard she'd badmouthed me as unreliable in a fake reference call. Then my engagement to Alex, Sophia cornered him at the party, showing funny old photos of my post-college slump after mom's illness, planting seeds of doubt that bloomed into his affair. And the loans, $4,000 for her design certification. Never repaid. Dismissed with a laugh as family dues. Worst. At Grandma's funeral. While I eulogized through tears, Sophia was outside appraising the house value. In a faded photo album that night. I saw her in the background at our last Thanksgiving. On her phone while Grandma whispered to me, "Watch out for her emptiness. It devours everything." No records of Harold's claim on this house surfaced online. But Sophia's firm had red flags, BBB complaints, pending suits for shady flips. She was sinking, using me as a buoy. But the real gem? In old family pics. A for sale sign in the background, not our yard, but the vacant lot next door. Harold had invested there. Not here. My mind raced. The house beside Mr. Wilkins was listing quietly old Mrs. Hargrove moving to assisted living in Texas. Crazy idea. But if Sophia wanted me gone, she hadn't said from the block. I met my friend Jamie at the records office the next morning. She pulled deeds. Harold invested in 85. But it's the adjacent parcel, separate IDs. The transfer to Sophia? $60,000 paid. Notarized by Lena. Fraud screamed from the pages. Copies? I asked. Already printed. But Jamie warned. You'll need a pro to fight this. Courts eat self-reps alive. Next. I knocked on Mrs. Hargrove's door. She was pruning roses. Frail but sharp. Emily. Saw that ruckus with your cousin. Neighborhood buzz. I spilled the gist, her eyes lit. Selling to my niece. But nothing signed. Make an offer. With Grandma's untouched $68,000 inheritance fund, I could down pay heavy on her $420,000 ask. Mortgage the rest. Take $390K clean, no agents, she countered. Your cousin sniffed around last month, lowballing me like I'm Dottie. Told her to shove it. Sophia wanted control of the block? Fine, I'd be her shadow. We shook on it. Her son, a real estate attorney, would handle cheap. At the bank. Withdrawing felt like fate, for when life demands it, Grandma had said. That night, digging deeper. Sophia's firm teetered lawsuits for embezzled client funds, delayed commissions. A text from unknown, a photo inside my house. Planning Renos. Start packing. Rage surged, she'd trespassed. I screenshotted. Added to my dossier. Replied, found perfect boxes. Her empire cracking. Mine rebuilding. 2 weeks in. Boxes piled high for show as Sophia cruised by repeatedly. Mortgage approved tight. But doable. Then she stormed in with Marcus and a lawyer. Baxter. For a walkthrough. They nitpicked. These floors need refinishing, Sophia sneered at normal scuffs. In Grandma's room. Her laugh, smells like mothballs. Rip it all out. I played my card, check City Hall, this place is up for historic status. No guts without approval. Filed days ago, her flush was priceless. Baxter verified. Pale. Pending app, strict rules for 1920s builds. She fumed out. Hissing. 2 weeks. Then sheriff. My lawyer pal. Riley. Reviewed evidence. Fraud goldmine, fight eviction. Maybe press charges. But I wanted her to gloat first. Closed on Hargroves next day, keys in hand. It felt like armor. Continued packing visibly. Savoring her dry buys. Mrs. Hargrove whispered. Got her on my cam snooping your yard, evidence if needed. Eviction day dawned bright. Sophia threw a redo party, caterers. Designers. Neighbors for her victory. Movers loaded my truck theatrically, she supervised. Crowing. Don't scratch my doors. I handed keys. Defeated mask on. Party guests milled, she toasted new eras. Truck rolled. 25 feet to my new house. Unloading began as her face crumpled. Wrong address. I unlocked. Waved, bought it weeks ago. Staying put. Horror dawned, Marcus stifled a chuckle. Injunction filed, Harold's claims bogus. Fraud proven. Baxter blanched, if true. Criminal. Party fizzled. Neighbors grinned. This ain't over, she spat. Just starting, I smiled. Phase 1 done. First week next door, bliss amid her chaos. Heard her rants through thin walls. License review? Bull. Contractors leaned the house for unpaid debts. Lena knocked, quit, unpaid months. Fraud docs. Proof here. Emails exposed the plot. Scare her out. She won't dig. Process server hit. Marcus bailed amid screams. $500,000 debt? Fraud. He fled. Nodding my way. Clients piled on. Forming suits. She hurled bottles at the fence. Slurring accusations, cops warned her. At the hedge. She begged, why fight? I needed it. You chose betrayal, I said. Hole in your soul. Like Grandma warned. She laughed hollowly. You'd have helped if I'd asked straight. True, but she hadn't. Boxes loaded her truck by nightfall. 3 months on, court shredded her claim. Harold confessed for immunity. Full ownership back. Plus fees. Sophia? Probation. Restitution. Banned from design. Receptionist gig in suburbs. Studio life. I rented Grandma's to a young family, teacher dad. Artist mom. Toddler son. Feels loved, they said. Barbecue bridged yards, neighbors. Even Marcus, divorced. Apologetic. A text U1. V. Deleted. Revenge's price? Scars. But strength forged. Between houses. I thrived roots deep. Thriving where she crumbled. Grandma would nod, show M. Laughter echoed, home. Finally.